What is something that you find when you're, for example, like let's say, I mean, I assume even though you don't pay too much attention to trends, that you do use social media and you see a lot of
for sure.
What's going on. What are some things that people might see? And I think a lot of times for our audience, because they're very, they're budget conscious and they want to make sure that they're not overspending to get to something. And a lot of, the design blogs, the decor blogs, they can feel very aspirational.
Totally.
And I mean, quite frankly, a lot of that stuff is really expensive or it's
100%.
gifted or all of that stuff. What are some easy things that almost anyone could recreate at any budget that will help a home feel more rich, more intentional, more beautiful, all of those things?
I think I love to look at those blogs that are like, the $1 million homes that have the huge walk-in closets, looking at that and kind of breaking it down into not just the closet itself, but saying like, okay, how is that functioning? How does that work for that person? Why is that working? And taking away like the little things.
Right.
And if you see like in a beautiful thing of like, huge shelves, floor to ceiling, like, okay, well, maybe I can't afford to have 35 shelves, floor to ceiling of this beautiful natural wood, and that's going to cost $4,000 to have that shelf. You can get 2 shelves from Target for $25 each. They're going to kind of give you that feeling of that. It's going to, like accomplish that idea and that feeling without spending the $4,000 on that huge natural shelf. It's kind of seeing what they're going for, seeing what they're trying to accomplish, and then seeing if you can find that at Goodwill, see if you can find that at Target, see if you can find that at Walmart, like going to those places that are much more attainable and seeing if you can break it down and make it much more simpler and streamlined.
But kind of get like the essence.
But get the essence of it. Yeah.
I feel like one big thing that a lot of people have to get over, especially in cities, is get comfortable with mounting stuff on walls.
Using your vertical space.
It's crazy.
It is my number one.
Huge.
Yes. Number one is purge. Purge, get rid of everything. Not everything. I'm not into minimalism. That's actually not my thing. But get rid of the things that aren't serving you. But number 2 is use your vertical space. Every inch. Like even just looking around here, you have things up on the wall. You have things like hanging. You have art up. You've got, shelves that are going up and using that vertical space on the walls, in the windows. Like try to think of, so when I go into a space, I see it as like a 3D Tetris board. And I kind of see like, okay, there's a chunk on the ceiling that's like this long, thin space. Could I put an extra shelf up there that we can store some shoes up there that are out of season? I look and I see above the doorway, there's just open, unused space. Can you put a shelf there to put some sweaters when you're not using them?
Right.
Can you lift your bed? And because there's tons of space above your bed, can you lift your bed and use that negative space under your bed to put some drawers for seasonal items? It's all about using that space that's the negative space that is just breathing room, which like, yes, we all need breathing room in New York City. Like we need as many square inches of breathing room as you can possibly get. But you also have to be realistic and like, okay, if you want those skis, you are going to need to figure out how to like mount them on your ceiling. Like my fiance has this super fancy bike because he loves cycling, but we do not have anywhere to put a bicycle.
You got the little mounted rack thing?
So we put hooks in the ceiling and we flipped it up and it's hanging from the ceiling above his desk.
Wow.
So it's like art.
Yeah.
Because it's like this beautiful fancy bike, but it's also not taking up floor space, So I'm like, okay, if you want that bike, it's
going up there
on the ceiling.
Yeah.